One stacker on a journey to find silver. International stacker.
One stacker on a journey to find silver. What has he got today? Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what I've got today. Uh-oh. Something small. Something small. What can that be, guys? Is it even silver? Or is it something unique? Or is it something sinister? Oh dear. Get ready. Who knows what it is? I think none of you know what this is right now. Totally gonna be off the wall. I think. Okay. Here we go. Oh no. What in the world is this, guys? Let me tell ya. First, let me show ya a few of these. Now, what these are... Sorry, I got a phone call. These are actually coins. Copper coins for the most part, I think. Maybe there's some bronze from the Byzantine Empire. And I got a deal on them. And they're considered lower grade, but I got offered it and I was like, YOLO. It's just kind of crazy to think about that. These are from the Byzantine Empire. Now, if you have watched Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money, he goes over the history of coins. And coins history, I guess the earliest was traced back to Greece in Greek times. Oh, look at that. You can kind of see that one. To Greece during like times when Greeks were very popular. Anyways, oh, look how that did that. Moving on into the Roman Empire. Oh, that's really unique. Look at that. It's like cut out. The Romans had copper coins and they had silver coins and they even had gold coins. But what happened is over the years, the coinage was debased. So kind of how today, how the U.S. government can just print money, that's debasing the value of the dollars in circulation. So as you print more money, the supply goes up. That causes inflation, which causes the value to drop, okay? So how do you debase gold and silver coins? Well, what happened is Rome was doing all kinds of conquests and stuff to pay for things. The bigger they got, the more public works they did, the armies, a lot more costs they had to cover. So, you can't conquest all the time and get all the gold and silver you're going to need to run that type of thing. So they started slowly lowering the purity of gold and silver in their coins. Oh, look at this one. That was cool. So as they lowered the percentage of gold and silver coins, they debased them. Well, people saw this. So what happened is it's called, I want to say it's Gretchen's Law, but I don't think that's right. Horton's Law. There's some sort of law that like humans are more likely to hoard the unique things, right? So as the debasement started happening, citizens eventually noticed it. So they started hoarding the actual older gold and silver coins that were higher content. It got so bad in the Roman Empire, and that makes sense. This is in the Byzantine Empire, which is the Eastern Roman Empire, I believe. Which was around a lot longer than the Western because the Western collapsed. But at a certain point, there's no gold and silver coins really circulating. It was just worthless copper flecks. And there's actually an old poem or song about how worthless the copper flecks were at some point. So I don't think these probably feel more copperish to me. So I'm assuming these are mostly copper. I mean, there might be some bronze, but I think they're mostly copper. Yeah, look at the green. But here you go, copper flex. Not gold, not silver. So I have some silver denarius, and now I have some of the actual copper flex. And you can see these things are straight up flex. So what happened? Inflation happened, and then you needed like a ton of copper flex to do, you know, what only one coin would have done before. Then things ran rampant, hyperinflation, and then Rome fell. Many think that the debasement of the currency, that's a decent one. And, you know, I think I'm going to give these out to you guys. I think when I do the Mega Guy, I'm going to put some of these in grab bags. But the debasement of currency is what many think helped lead to the fall of the Roman Empire. And I mean, the Roman Empire, guys, was around forever. It went from BC, or it went from BC to AD. That's crazy to think about how long the empire spanned. It was like over 1,000 years, I think. I think it was like 300 or 400 BC at least. In AD, I think it was at least like 500-600. But I know it's highly contested of when the Roman Empire actually fall. Did it fall when East and West split apart? At what point did it fall? So I believe into 200 AD, it was fairly strong. But then that's when like cracks started to form. I could be wrong. I'm sure you're going to fact check me and crucify me in the comments. By no means am I an expert on Roman history, but I mean, I have looked about it and learned about it and stuff, so my dates could be wrong, but the overall story is accurate. So it's just very interesting to me. And guess what? Guess what happened in Greece? They did the same thing. They need to finance war. They need to finance public works and public systems. That's why, guys, I'm such in favor of giving people hand ups and not handouts. Teaching people to fish and not having them dependent on the government, because that is a big drain on the economy, and eventually it can lead to the downfall of whatever country or empire that is. But never will the LFL nation fall. So this is pretty cool. What do you guys think? There's 50 of these, I believe, and I believe I paid $70 for them. I don't know, guys. It was an impulse buy. I'm sorry. I broke my rule and bought something other than gold and silver. But I really love the history. I wanted to make a video on it. I thought it might be something some of you would be super amped to get. Coins that might be like 1,000 years old. And like, who knows what these coins were used for? Mysterious things. Crime. Building empires. Well, this stuff didn't build an empire. This is probably your common everyday currency. Trading for like bread or gold or bread or like flour or, you know, consumables. This is probably what the everyday average citizen would have used. The gold and silver coins definitely in the later days would have been for sure more of a savings account and probably something that the state used. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the state, honestly, the empire, I guess then, confiscated it from people, you know, to fund the war. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Because when they debased it, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't tell anyone. They just did it. And if you know anything about the gold standard the U.S. had, we kind of did the same thing. So, like, every dollar was supposed to represent so much gold. And we did what's called rehypothecation, whereas, like, say if 1 ounce is supposed to be $10, then we changed it, 1 ounce would be like $20 type thing. And they kept doing that. So eventually we did not have enough gold to back up the amount of dollars that were in circulation. Look at that one. That's like a little crush there. And back then, people could trade in their dollars for gold, including other countries. So I think France was the first country to get wise to it. So they're telling people, freaking cash in your US dollars. So countries started cashing in their US dollars, which essentially was a run on the gold market in the United States. And when the president took us off the Bretton Woods system, or took us off it was Bretton Woods when it was agreed upon after World War I, believe, or II? World War I? Maybe it's II. I'm a little mixed up there. But after we got off the system where the US dollar was backed by gold, which is in 1971, and I'm trying to remember what president did it. 1971. Was that President Nixon? I'm sure you guys are crucifying me right now. I'll put it in editing as long as I remember to do it in editing. If not, make fun of me and laugh at me in the comments if I was wrong. Nixon? It wasn't Reagan. Or was it Reagan? I think it was Nixon. Anyways, guys, what do you think? Was this a good buy? Was it a bad buy? Was it a fun buy? Did you learn anything? Because that monetary history on gold and silver is why a lot of people stack. And that history is why we have the use case we have today for gold and silver, because it has proved itself time and time again through rises and falls of empire to be real money versus useless copper flakes. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And I guess I'll say, catch you on the next one.
I will hoard this treasure.